What is up? It is your boy Itsswiggz from Team UGGC from the Urbangamers community group, and I am bringing you guys another video update of Monster Hunter World gameplay. But today is the new weapons, the Glaive, the insect glaive, switch axe, dual blades, and brown or light bowgun gameplay, actually showing it and showing you the new skills and everything like that. So shout out to my boy Arekkz Gaming. You see his little stuff down in the corner. I actually put the link of this video and his channel in the description. The reason I'm using his footage is because he gets all the new just updates and stuff like that. He got the insider stuff, so I pretty much use his footage and then put my input on it. So really this is a reaction video plus like an input breakdown video of Monster Hunter World. So let's get right into it. Like I said, if you guys like these videos, man, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, please subscribe, and comment down below if you're feeling the content. Only if you're feeling it. If you're not feeling it, you don't have to subscribe or like it. But let's get right into it, man. Links in the description of all the stuff we got going on with the Urban Gamers. You know, everything is appreciated. The support is definitely appreciated. But let's get it. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, you want to stay tuned to all of this, man, please subscribe. I will be putting up a lot more Monster Hunter World information once I get it in. Once I see anything new, I'll make a video for it. So let's get it, man. Let's get right into this and see what the new weapons and stuff is talking about. You know, I just want to see what's new because this game is lit. Let's get it.
A PlayStation Hong Kong live stream, and during that they played through the E3 demo that we've seen time and time again, the one in the ancient forest where you see the great Jagras at the beginning, then they go on to fight the Anjanath, introduce it to the Rathalos, show you how monsters interact. The typical flow is largely the same, however, they played the demo out differently. They used different weapons, namely dual blades, insect glaive, switch axe, and light bowgun. They also equipped a few different armor sets, a different mantle. They took a slightly different route and interacted with the kind of environment.
Bro, I love that cloak, man.
So on the environment, the monster they fight,
armor is
before the actual kind of gameplay does still contain some pretty exciting new stuff. So in this video, I'm going to break down the most important parts. We're just going to kind of jump to all the parts that you guys want to see. And of course, I'll skip past all the filler stuff in between. So if you do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions. But kicking things off right at the very beginning of the hunt. First things first, they are playing as a female character, and the female character is using the Anjanath armor, which is pretty cool. We've of course seen what the male Anjanath armor looks like from the English gameplay, but we now know what the female Anjanath armor looks like, and it is pretty sweet. It's got this kind of cool, almost sort of furry cape, like top half of the cape, which looks really nice, and they've also got these kind of pointy ears as well. So I do really like the design for this, and of course on top of that they are currently using the dual blades. I'm going to assume these are sort of like the bone dual blades, one of the sort of starter ones. So no fancy weapons, but either way that is still something new. Now jumping over to the first time they start fighting, they actually decide to lead the Anjanath out the cave the other way, because typically they go out the kind of main entrance which takes them into the sort of foresty area, but this time they've opted to sort of lead it out into this open area where there's kind of these rocks. It's a big incline. And they use this as a means to demonstrate these sliding attacks. Of course, we know that when you run down a sort of steep hill, you can slide down, and we saw like the hammer has like a really crazy cartwheel attack. At E3, we saw the greatsword has like a rising attack. And for the dual blade, you can actually go into this pretty insane sort of vertical spinning top or cartwheel where you spin around, slice down the monster's back. It does look pretty awesome, over the top and whatnot, but do really like that. We also get another good demonstration of the shock frog. So this is basically another one of those kind of environmental things you can interact with. You'll see these frogs around, and you can either shoot them or kick them, and doing so will then have it explode into this sort of static gas, and if the monster walks into that gas, it'll then get shocked for a short period of time. So it's kind of like an environmental shock trap. There are a few of them around there, you can kick them. They are free for you to use, and they seem to have a pretty kind of sizable radius. I also just really like how the frogs actually look. These are sort of like bright yellow, sort of happy frogs with these massive bellies, and then you can blow up. But anyway, moving on from there is a different slide attack if you are in demon mode. Of course, they demonstrated this a couple of times. The first time wasn't the clearest demonstration, but you seem to have this sort of like air dash kind of thing.
Yo, the dual blades, sick. One of my favorite weapons, besides the long blade and the switch axe, is probably one of my dopest weapons that I like in Monster Hunter, bro. They're just so OP looking. Like,
same sort of premise in that you'll go into like a cartwheel spin kind of thing, but off the back of it, you then seem to
it's just they go so crazy, bro.
When trying to leave the area, we then get a look at the fact that monsters can still pin you. It seems to kind of work in a slightly different way, in that you don't necessarily have that sort of, you know, indicator that you are being pinned. But the point is, the hunter kind of got grabbed up in a pretty vicious way by the Anjanath, then slammed down, and the actual in-game voiceover from the tutorial lady basically said, "You're pinned, look for a opening to try and escape." So that does still make a return. After that, we then go to look at a mounted attack with the dual blades. So, of course, as we've seen before, you can use the hunting knife to sort of do your general stabs as you would always when you're mounting a monster. But when the opportunity presents itself, you can switch to your primary weapon, and in this case, they do a demon flurry on the tail, and it results in a tail cut. And thankfully, this time they do actually go on to carve the tail. I know in the English gameplay, they cut it off and then just left it, which drove everyone crazy. But this time they actually carve it, and they do actually get an Anjanath tail. So, for those of you guys that are new to Monster Hunter, that is often why you cut those parts. Typically, there will be a part that you might not be able to get unless, say, you sever a tail or you break like a horn. And while you won't necessarily always get a tail, sometimes you can get things like scales. Generally speaking, that is why you do it. If you want a tail,
I just love the mechanics. The mechanics look so sick now, man.
And that gives you an extra option.
It's more
Another
immersive.
Interesting thing that we have actually seen before, but it was especially prevalent in this gameplay, was that you'll see these trees around and they have these vines hanging from them. When the monster sort of smashes into them, they break the tree and the vines fall on the ground. That actually becomes sort of like a, I guess, kind of like a pitfall trap, in that if the monster then walks into those vines, it then gets trapped. So again, another good use of the environment to, you know, like hold down the monster, get some free damage in. That's pretty cool. Then after that, they took their first visit to the base camp. I say the first visit because they're going to be doing this a few times throughout the gameplay. First time they go back, we of course dive into the tent. One thing that we have seen again in the past, but again I kind of wanted to call out here, is that the weapon that you have equipped actually appears in the back of the tent, which is just kind of cool.
I just seen that. They set the weapons down in the background. That's dope.
Anytime you swap your weapons, it changes what is standing right there. But this time they're in the camp and they swap to the insect glaive. We also got a look when they were changing mantles at another item called a health booster. The description for it didn't show up, so I'm not entirely sure what it does, but in the name health booster, it's probably some kind of healing item. Now, for the insect glaive, during some of the general gameplay, one of the main things I noticed is just sort of how much easier it looks to actually just gather and harvest extracts. I mean, of course, on 3DS, if you have the kind of C-stick, you can use that to move around. Of course, you can then fire at your insect accordingly, but that isn't necessarily
insect glaive is sick. That's a dope
obviously playing on
ass
PS4
weapon,
controller with
bro.
2 nice analog sticks more than likely makes it a hell of a lot easier to actually
I like that spring attack, man. That vaulting is so sick with that weapon,
One thing
man.
I did notice is the air dash that we saw in yesterday's weapon videos, it seems to consume stamina. So for those of you guys that were like, hold on a minute, this is crazy, are you just gonna like dash around non-stop? It seems like that's the answer to our question. It consumes stamina on each dash, so I would imagine there is, genuinely speaking, a finite number of times you can actually dash before you will run out of stamina and then fall down to the ground. That being said, if you do have dash juice or mega dash juice, then maybe there is the possibility to dash endlessly in the air. But of course, that also relies on you being able to position yourself in the right place, hit the monster, and then kind of get that vault. Another thing we noticed was, of course, the use of paralysis knives. They actually go into your slinger now, so you don't throw them like you used to. You kind of put them into your slinger and fire them. So hopefully that helps with some precision, make it a little bit easier.
Oh, that's going to be dope, bro.
After that, they also discovered a new hidden base camp, one they hadn't seen before. It seems that some of them won't necessarily be just, you know, like easy to find. Some of them might be hidden behind vines. You might have to kind of like crawl underneath things to find them. But of course, once you do find a base camp, you can then fast travel to it at any time. So the more you discover around the map, the easier it'll be for you to navigate your way around. At this point, after their second visit to the base camp, they then swapped to the Ingot armor, the Rocksteady mantle, and the switch axe. Now, I'm going to speak more in depth about the armors tomorrow. I am working on an armor breakdown video, talking about all the new ones that we saw in yesterday's gameplay, plus the ones we've seen in today's gameplay.
Game's gonna be sick. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, you gotta be excited for this game, bro.
More gameplay of them using the switch axe. We see that really cool mounty attack again.
Switch axe is so sick, bro.
You just kind of go from that upwards, downwards attack, jump on the side of it.
Oh, that's new.
They also use this opportunity.
That's a new mechanic. He jumped on his leg and cut his leg.
Being a skill that stops you from kind of getting flinched or knocked back, so you can stand there. You'll still take damage, but you can stand there and sort of firm some of the attacks, so they can use that if you are trying to, you know, demonstrate something and you don't necessarily want to keep getting tripped up and messed up. So
this game gonna have a lot of strategies and mechanics, bro.
Now,
like,
they didn't do too much gameplay with the switch axe because they were running out of time and the audience wanted to see another weapon, so they then went back to another base camp, a different one. So we've seen 3 different locations in this one demo, and they then swapped to the light bowgun. Now, this was a pretty short-lived.
I was never a bowgun fan in this, man. I didn't really.
Deal to play with, but they then went
wanted
back
to use a bow,
sleeping, and use this as an opportunity to demonstrate one of the new abilities,
but
where you
I
can
never
fire
used
these sort of charges into the ground. It's worth noting you can do this 3 times, because if you look at the UI, every time they plant one of these, this little counter sort of loses one. So it seems you can plant 3 of these in total, and you then shoot it, it causes explosions, and that then killed the monster. They're also using the Volt armor set in this one. So in this gameplay alone, we've also seen 3 new armor sets: female Anjanath, the Ingot armor, and this Volt armor. And aside from that, the last thing we get a look at is, of course, the post-game kill screen. We, of course, have your typical UI on the right, where you then go and gather all your items. But, of course, in the background, we then have the freeze frame of you doing the attack. I'm really hoping they have the option to
save the screenshot
menu like they did in Monster Hunter Double Cross, because for those of you guys that are new to Monster Hunter, this is one of those really cool things. When you finish a fight, you get this kind of freeze frame of
shout out to Bubs in this video. Was good.
Now, sometimes you might just be in the middle of it, in the kind of middle of the fray, and you might not necessarily get a clear picture, but other times you can actually get some really, really cool images like that. And of course, being on a console, it would be great if they do have the ability to hide the UI, because if you can then take a screenshot, share it on social media. That itself is just really nice. But anyway, for the time being, that is a quick overview of the most important stuff shown in the gameplay. So if you did enjoy this, then...
Alright guys, yep, that was a quick rundown of some of the new weapons and some of the weapon changes and a little bit of armor sets in Monster Hunter World Update. They streamed that about a week ago, so I'm just now kind of getting to this information, which I apologize. Next time I get some more news, I'll put it right up as soon as I get it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And yes, I did not mess up any monster names or any weapon names or anything like that today, so you guys won't be able to bitch at me in the comments like last time and I had to turn up. So yeah, if you guys like this video, man, please comment down below, like this video, and also if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. We need all the support we can get to keep this urban gamer movement going. Keep showing some love, keep commenting, checking out our social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. Keep hitting us up, man. Y'all been showing us hella love over on Instagram, and I really do appreciate that, man. We got some giveaways coming soon. Go check out my bros. Comments in the links in the description. All my bros that's with the Urban Gamers, they got their own movements, videos, and just stuff that they're focusing on as far as gaming too as well. Check out their streams, check out my streams. Let's get it, man. Keep supporting. It's your boy Itsswiggz from the UGGC. This was another Monster Hunter World new gameplay video, weapon updates. I'm gonna do the armor one soon, so be on the lookouts for that as well, and a few other videos. So it's your boy. Keep it gaming, keep it peace, keep it swag. See you guys in the next episode. Deuces.